Hello, students. Today we are going to discuss chapter 13, that is motion and time. First of all, we are going to discuss about motion. Motion, what is motion? Motion is a phenomena in which an object changes its position with time. So here we are going to discuss about the different types of motions. Generally, we are having three different types of motion. The very first is the circular motion, second, motion in a straight line, and third, the periodic motion. Apart from them, certain more types of motions are also there. Up and down motion, for example, uh, when we see in the seesaw, right? Straight line motion we had already discussed, which is in a straight line. Round and round motion, which is when there is a merry-go-round motion. Another is zigzag motion, like a snake that moves. And another one more, that is back and forth motion, that is, for example, when a swing in which the swing moves. We know that some vehicles move faster than others. Even the same vehicle can move faster or slower at different times. So, in order to identify that the vehicle is moving faster, we have to allow all the vehicles to move in the same direction. In order to identify the vehicle which is moving slow or fast, so that can be judged by the one who take shortest time to cover the fixed distance, has the highest speed. So thus the vehicle with highest speed is said to be moving with high velocity, or that is moving fast, and others they are at slower rate. So let us discuss about speed. Speed, the distance covered by an object in an unit time, is called the speed of the object. For example, if a car covers a distance of 1000 kilometers in 1 hour and a bus covers a distance of 50 kilometers in 1 hour, so then the speed of the car is more than the speed of the bus, since the speed of the most objects are not constant. So we generally calculate the average speed, that is, speed is equal to the total distance covered by the total time taken. Now, these motions, they are of two different types. The very first is the uniform motion and another is the non-uniform motion. Uniform motion means if the speed of an object is constant throughout its motion, throughout its time, so it is said to be uniform motion. While the non-uniform motion, if the speed of an object keeps on changing with time, it is called non-uniform motion. Now, most common units of speed are meter per second, this is the SI unit, centimeter per second, this is the smaller unit, and the bigger unit, that is kilometer per hour. Let us discuss about speed with the help of an example. If a car travels a distance of 20 km in 2 hours, then the speed of this car is calculated by, as we know, speed is equal to distance upon time. So that is 200 km divided by 2. So it comes out to be 100 km per hour. It shows that car travels a distance of 100 km in 1 hour. It does not mean the car is moving with this speed regularly. So thus The speed calculated here is the average speed of the car. Here we are going to discuss about the measurement of time. A duration of movement during which an event occurs is termed as time. Generally, we use different devices to evaluate the time such as watches, clocks, etc. Ancient people uses natural events to calculate the time such as a day is called the time between the sunrise and the sunset. A month is the time between the full moon day to the next full moon day. And a year is called as the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution around the sun. A sundial measures time by the position of shadow caused by the sun. The device which uses the flow of sand from one glass bulb to another in order to measure the time, that is known as the sand clocks. And there is also a device which uses the to and fro motion, that is called the pendulum clock. So these are used to measure the time. Here we are going to discuss about the pendulum. A simple pendulum that consists of a small metal ball which is called as bob, which is suspended by a long thread from the rigid spool, such as the bob is free to swing back and forth. The to and fro motion of a simple pendulum is an example of periodic or oscillatory motion. The pendulum is said to have completed one oscillation when its bob started from its mean position, that is A, moves to B and C, and again back to the A. The time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is called its time period. Let us perform an activity to measure the time period of a simple pendulum. Set up a simple pendulum with a thread of a length about 1 meter. Move the bob to one side and release the bob. Measure the time taken to complete 20 oscillations using a stopwatch or a stop clock. Now record the observations in the table. Repeat this activity 3 times and record the observations. Find the time taken for one oscillation. Right? So this time period is nearly same in all the cases. So in this way we can calculate the time period. Here we are going to discuss about the units of time. Second is the basic unit of measuring time, and it is represented by the symbol that is small s. Larger units of time are minute and hours. That is 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes and 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So different units of times are used depending on the need. For example, in order to express the longer time interval, the bigger units of time such as day, month and year are also used. That is, one day is equal to 24 hours and 1 month is equal to 30 days, and above all the 1 year is equal to 12 months. Now here we learn how to measure the speed. The speed of an object can be measured if we know the distance covered by the object and the time taken to cover that distance. For example, if a car covers the distance of 100 kilometers in 2 hours, so then the speed of car is equal to, that is distance covered is equal to 100 kilometer and time taken is 2 hours. So speed is equal to 50 kilometer per hour. But if we know the speed of car and the time, we can find the distance also. That is, distance is equal to speed times, that is, multiplied by time. So 50 into 2, that is 100 kilometer. If we know the distance covered by the car and the speed, we can also find the time taken by using the formula, that is time is equal to distance upon speed. That is equal to 100 upon 50, which comes out to be 2 hours. So in this way, if we know any two of the things from this formula, we can calculate the third. Now we are going to discuss about the device, that is odometer. Odometer, which measures the distance that is covered by the vehicle, is called as odometer. And we generally see this odometer in various vehicles, that is two-wheelers, four-wheelers, right? So in this way, it records the various distance that covered. Here's another device that is known as speedometer. So it is used to measure the speed of the vehicle by which the vehicle is moving. That is known as speedometer. So this also present in the various vehicles, and both two-wheelers, four-wheelers. So here we are going to discuss about the distance time graph, how it evaluate the type of motion. So the distance traveled by a car and the time taken, that is shown in the table here, you see. So if the distance time graph is a straight line, so then the object is moving with a constant speed, that is a uniform speed. If the speed of the object keeps changing, the graph can be of any shape. So it means it is a non-uniform motion. Sometimes we represent the various events by using the bar graph. So here are the things that are required. There are x-axis and y-axis is there. So various rectangles that are being formed. So these represents the bar graph. Certain events can also be represented by using the pie graph, or we can say we call it as a circle graph. So it is used to show how a part of something relates with the whole part. So this kind of graph is needed to show percentage effectively, right? So in this way, we can calculate the various types of motions by using these graphs.